There's some of that scar tissue in it.
That sounds like it.
Oh, yeah. Did all? Holy cow, he's had the, I remember when you talked about surgery, because I don't think it's surgery, oh boys.
And second week of March or so, that I think a temporary one put in, make sure it's no more infection than it. Then you get. Then no infection, then.
In pain.
Well,
I guess it's, I'm sorry.
don't you go, sends a way up.
She'll just.
That's how it was.
It's about stop.
No, I just, he hasn't posted much on Facebook. So that's one. Yeah, I said, I just remember I was in Augusta surgery and I'm back on everything that he's had surgery. And he broke it right away, but it's not. They know how they got the infection. And that's some of our CB's movers, those all key points.
Going to the house this weekend, family. We were sorry, no, like, we're getting with our house.
Laura, I help, I don't know if I've been down as much like it, I don't get up. Sadly. And everything you say, when you get small, it just increases. Okay, it's 5:35, I call me in order, you could join me in pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, nothing under proclamation, so we'll go straight to the consent agenda. Brad, is there anything you wanted to point out or anything?
No, nothing to add to this.
I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Don?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 4-0. Moving on to public comments, petitions and memorials. So, Aaron? Thanks for the nice little graphic.
Yes.
Yes, I like it.
For digital services on the side, but yes, so, and I do apologize, my director's report did incorrectly, and I didn't know until after I stapled them all, but
Oh, that's
you
okay.
can still get. Yes. Yeah, it was fun going over all of our end of the year statistics and put it into our little infographic that I got to give everybody. And it's just a lot easier to read than numbers anytime I bring that kind of stuff. And something that we do that not all libraries do is we kind of go through, every month we look at how much it costs us or could cost a patron different services. So anytime a book is checked out, how much that book would cost. Sorry, I get distracted. And then also, how much it would cost from, like, if somebody has to pay to come to a type of program we put on, pay to use internet that if they don't have at home, how much they would have to pay for it otherwise, things like that. We kind of keep track of that based on the model created by Manhattan and New York, a library out there. So anyhow, so the total value of services at the end of last year totaled just over $1 million of free services we provide to the public. And then the other thing that we look at with in regard to the services is then, you know, how much tax money we receive, and then we can look at a return on investment deal. So with that $1.02 million value of services and the tax money we received, the return per $1 invested was $4.65. So for every $1 invested in our library, from tax money, we got, or over 4.5 times, gave over 4.5 times back, to the community in our different things. And yeah, other things like our interlibrary loan, when we get things from that travel from other libraries to us, either just within our region or even all over the state, we can get things, that would normally cost money, but we're able to subsidize that a little bit with grants and things, and provide that for free, and things like that. So that's one of my favorite things. I'm a data nerd, so it's really good to look at all the different numbers we can collect and showcase library in different ways. So that's that first number at the very top there. And then I won't read everything on this page. It's just kind of nice to look at every once in a while. We've had high program attendance. Our Beanstack is a digital reading tracker that we use, and so we know that over the entire year, 85,000 minutes were logged for our patrons at the library. Things that were trending up over last year were our number of digital checkouts that rose by for the ratio of how many total checkouts and how many of those are digital. It went up by 3% in 2025. We had a lot more family events, all ages events. We have a lot more attendees at those, and we have more people visiting our website for information. Then I kind of broke down how those different items were circulated. And so you can see that, yeah, those digital checkouts are getting quite up there. We have 2,400 library card holders, so that's the number of people who have a library card just for us at North Public Library. And they can use those cards, of course, throughout the entire Northeast Kansas library system. So if you have a card with us, you can go to Horton or Sabetha, Seneca, anywhere in those regions. You can still use your card and check out books at other libraries. We had over 460 programs, events offered throughout the year, and attendance at our events offsite. So when we go to the elementary school, when we go to like the homes around town for our homebound patrons and things like that, the number of people attending those programs is at 772 number. And then we just kind of filled in some other favorites. So the most borrowed books are at the bottom, and we had a couple new things like our travel club with cruise planners, and we just kind of put in our little graphics about how our financials were broken down a little bit in the revenue and expenditures section there. So yeah, that's a very fast overview of how our 2025 went at the library, but we had a really great time, and we like seeing everybody who comes in over the years. And then the rest of my director's report, it's more info, and I won't read every single thing on there, but some of our other highlights, we made 168 visits to people who are not able to physically visit the library, but would select to get books. So we are able to bring their items that they'd like to check out to them. Joey May, our adult services librarian, she continued her creative hour program and coordinated with cruise planners for the travel club. And we started family date nights and family craft days. And we have clients from BCDS coming to our creative hour, and they always have a good time. And we got a new learning platform. It's called Niche Academy. There's a link on our homepage, and it's basically a repository for different courses that you can take on, and to learn how to use Facebook, learn how to use Instagram, learn how to use anything Google. And then there's also a ton of ways to look and how to use the State of Kansas Library databases that they provide, Heritage Quest and Mango languages. We're also able to use Niche Academy for onboarding with new staff and new board of trustees. So that's been a really great resource that our Friends of the Library has helped fund for us. And we, another numbers nerd thing that I found interesting, for our digital checkouts, 2024 was the first year where we saw more digital audiobooks being checked out than digital books. So we had more people wanting to listen to their books rather than just read them. And then in 2025, we had nearly double the amount of digital audiobooks over ebooks. So in 2024, they were a closer number, around that 3,300, and the next year audiobooks exploded, and we had double the amount of those. That's very interesting in general, just so that we can keep up and know what our patrons are interested in. And so because of that, we're able to expand our digital library in one of our reading apps called Libby. And we are unable to continue with Hoopla, which is another, it was a favorite because there were no waits or holds. But their pricing model was that we had to pay per checkout. So because it got so much more traction after COVID, it became too expensive for us. I think it totaled, I want to say it was close to like 20% of our entire collection budget last year for just one platform. So we're not able to continue with Hoopla, but we are able to then put those funds back into Libby, and we're able to take a portion of that and expand it so that there's less waiting times through Libby. And we're excited about that because we've had more users use Libby anyway, and so now we're just able to expand it more for everybody. And then other things that we're doing the rest of this year, we'll have our summer library program kicks off on the last day of school, and it's Unearth a Story. So we're all about dinosaurs and archaeology, and we're going to look into every community has stories waiting to be found, and through local knowledge and things like that. So it should be a very popular theme for this summer is Unearth a Story. And then of course we still plan to continue partnerships that we have established with other organizations and businesses in the city, of course, through the rest of this year. We've had a couple other opportunities come up for this year. So our library was picked. We are one of 16 that were invited in Northeast Kansas to participate in a program from Washburn University and their Department of Education. They got a grant, and they put together this program initiative for learning about literacy. And so I get to go take a class and learn about the science of reading, and then collaborate with the university faculty, and we get to implement a project at the library over the summer. So we're very excited about those things. And then finally, with our friends of the library, they have their annual meeting coming up in April. We don't have an exact date yet, but it'll be in April. And their program this year will be focused on Andrew Carnegie and his impact. The Carnegie Foundation announced that in honor of the 250th birthday of America, they are giving $10,000 to every Carnegie library still operating. So we were one of the lucky recipients of that, and we have gotten it, and it's a no strings attached grant. You can use it for whatever you'd like, simply because we're still operating as a Carnegie library, and we attribute it to him, at least in part. We've got $10,000, and so we're going to give a presentation at the Friends annual meeting all about our library and Andrew Carnegie in general. So again, that was a very quick overview, but that's pretty much all the updates I have for you guys today. So I can take any questions, especially if I talk fast, but
I, for one, wanted to thank you for putting together that presentation and for all the information, the data, the graphics that you've supplied. And I also want to thank everybody that works at the library under you to be able to, provide our community with all these services. I don't think the community as a whole has any idea
sure.
the amount of services that are available at our libraries. So
Yeah.
I
We just got
wanna
tax
say I
forms. That's a
really
good
appreciate
plug
it.
that I get to get. We just got tax forms for anybody who needs to come in and get their 1040s. We have 1040 regular, we have the ones for seniors, and we have them available in Spanish as well.
Okay.
So, and resources on how to get other tax forms.
Okay, great.
That reminds me.
Any other comments or questions?
Do you provide, I'm just curious, provide any services for incarcerated people?
That is a good question. Not in particular. We have actually started talking to, I was approached by someone who, they're starting another pilot program. Of course, I was sick the day that they had their Zoom meeting all about it, but we're getting caught back up. Anyway, they have a pilot program that is going to start talking about how to find judicial help and how libraries are often looked to for different social needs and things like that. So not exactly in that, it's adjacent to that a little bit, but I know a lot of libraries have started doing different kind of programs like that. Yeah, but not at the moment.
I was just curious.
Sure.
That's something you might look into.
Absolutely. We're always, as long as there's funding available, we're always looking at what the community needs and is looking for. Yeah.
I mean, they are, and it says homebound.
Right. I know, yeah, sometimes we contact the sheriff's office, we try to help with different things that like, like if we have excess books after the Friends of the Library sale, if we can donate any of our books, back to the sheriff's office or other places, we're able to do that, yeah. Small thing we do.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Erin. Thanks. I know sometime I'm gonna get with Brad and we're gonna look at our memorandum of understanding. I do have a draft ready to show you. We just gotta get together.
That sounds great.
Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
I love your energy.
A lot of coffee, but thank you.
All right, moving on to Rainbow Communications.
Hello. I'm going to introduce myself because there's a couple new faces up here from the last time I came. I'm Julie Bergman with Rainbow, the Senior Business Development Specialist. And Angie Kreider is the Director of Business Development, is here with me tonight too. So we just wanted to stop by and provide you an update on Rainbow's Hiawatha Citywide Fiber Project. We provided you guys with an update a while ago about the completion of the residential side of things. And so currently what we are doing is upgrading all of our fiber business accounts to that 10 gig network. So again, what does that 10 gig network mean? It's the capacity that we have, and it allows our business to have multi-gig of fiber to their business to be able to use. So this project again was a $5 million investment funded by Rainbow to the Hiawatha community infrastructure. Residential customers, they still can receive those plans up to 2 gigs symmetrical. For reference, I thought this was interesting today. Did a little Google search. A 2-hour HD movie on a 2 gig symmetrical plan takes 16 to 19 seconds to download. So we can no longer go make our popcorn while our movie downloads. The day they come up with 19-second bags of popcorn, I will invest. So that's kind of what we are up to right now, and we just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, we recognize that you guys were awarded the housing grant, which is so exciting. So congratulations on that. We actively love to work with our communities on economic development. So when you get ready to do those expansions, please talk to us about getting fiber to those places. We would love to be able to aid in that as well. And then thank you again for your continued support and assistance in partnering with us to provide the citizens of Hiawatha high-speed local internet. Anybody have any questions?
What other communities are you installing the fiber in right now?
So currently we are working in Highland, Wapena, Troy, and Elwood. We recently overbuilt Seneca, and that residential plan is done. Sabetha, we're working there as well. So when we are done with our project, we will be 100% fiber to the home. So, and we are also actively expanding in Ashton. So we are, yeah, a lot going on, but it is, it's a great time to.
We're lucky then to be at the top of the list on.
Yeah. You were our first community to go
Okay.
full fiber, which was really exciting for us to have you guys, because it was a learning experience for us and for the customers, and everyone handled it so gracefully. It was a great project.
I'll say it's relatively painless for us. I don't know about you guys.
Yes,
like it.
well, you like it. Good. All right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, comments, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for being here as well.
You bet. Thanks as always.
All right, moving on, nothing under old business, so moving to new business. Item 1, City Hall elevator upgrade.
So the elevator at City Hall is, we have some components there that are obsolete, that are in need of upgrade. This is something that we knew was coming. We did budget for the control board this year. And so there was a few proposals here. It's going to be the control board. I believe that the closure system needs to be upgraded as well in the future, as well as the detection system. But what I'm going to ask for right now is just the control board. Of course, this elevator is very important to City Hall because this is what makes this building ADA accessible. So keeping up with the elevator maintenance is a very, important thing for us to do. And so my recommended action is that we approve the upgrade of the control board for the elevator at City Hall at a cost of $26,521.20.
I have a question. I looked at the proposals for those two options, and if I'm reading this right, the proposal for the control board is 25,263. In lieu of what you have on the,
Okay.
I got a copy of it here if you want to look at it.
Yeah. I'll see.
I think for 26,521 is the half payment for the full project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Control board, if I read it right.
Oh, yeah. You are correct. It's actually $25,263. I must have been reading off wrong.
Yeah, the other proposal has that as a half payment for the other.
So that would be my, recommended action is to approve the upgrade of the control board at the elevator at City Hall for, $25,263.
Okay, but I've got two different ones. Oh, one's for,
Yeah, one of
oh, one's for the door, okay,
The other one's for the whole factory.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
So I have a couple of questions on this.
Yes, go ahead.
We work with Otis Elevator.
That's correct.
Is that a non-proprietary agreement that we have with them?
I believe that they are the manufacturer, so it is proprietary.
It is proprietary. So basically, we can't go out for bids or any other work on that.
No, we would have to change components of the elevator altogether. They would manufacturing, so it does happen a lot in some of the states that we have here in the city where, this happens in the water clinic quite a bit. For example, when we get into our state equipment, it's very proprietary and, you end up with the same thing.
So to update this control board, is it ADA? Is that why we're?
So what would happen is it is ADA, and so what would happen is they have just informed us that our components are obsolete. And so it just meaning that if something does go down, that we would be without an elevator. They couldn't fix what we have now. We would have to do this upgrade. Now the elevator operates fine the way it is, but just knowing that, we have this coming, I think this is something that we could budget for over a period of a couple of years. Make sure that we make these upgrades in order to keep the elevator going. And of course, something could always change, just like with the door closure or the infrared detection system. Something could always change it. I mean, it could go out this year, which would basically force our hand. We would have to fix that. But if we can budget for that, and if we can stay within our budgets, I think it's best. When I looked at the budget for the History Center here, I was a little bit concerned with the amount of fund balance that we did have with the total project. I believe this is going to be easier for us to absorb for the next year. I was worried about getting that fund balance too low. And so that's why I'm only, it's, not to say that if something did happen to the other two components that we wouldn't fix them, because we would. We might have to allocate funds from other places to do that, but we could certainly do that. This is just kind of trying to take that conservative approach on this one and stay within budget if possible. I know we did budget for this one. They did come back with the other two components that are also obsolete. And so that's why I'm going with the control board and not the entire package right now.
I think that door control is a elevator code upgrade. It applies to all elevators, not just Otis.
No, it's not, the upgrades that we're doing is not maybe required necessarily, but the elevator itself is what's required to keep this building even compliant.
No, I understand that
Yeah,
we need to do the control board, but do we necessarily need to put in this infrared door edge system and upgrade that for another $25,000? I mean, if it's not required?
Well, it's required, there's a code, the elevator code's been upgraded to require those, that's my understanding anyway.
Okay.
I'm not an expert on it, that's what I read somewhere.
So for now, we're just worried about the 25,263.
That's correct.
25,263?
Yep.
I make a motion to approve the upgrade of the control board for the elevator at City Hall at a cost of $25,263.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the upgrade of the control board for the elevator at City Hall for 25,263. Any further discussion? Not, Don?
On favor?
Aye. Motion passed 4-0. Oh, wait, I forgot. Was there any other public comment on the elevator thing? I'll do it next time before we vote. Okay, moving on.
used to it.
Yeah. And it's right there. Okay, moving on to item 2, effluent basin cleanout. I was about to say Brad. So, hey.
Well, it was proposing the basin clean out for the country club, and what that is, during the summer, the country club uses or has access to the effluent water that is treated for irrigation purposes on the greens at the golf course. With this process, it diverts the water to the basin and they pull water as needed, usually at nighttime or, within contract hours supposed to be. With diverting the water to the basin first, they accumulate solids and sludge over time. It settles in heavy rain events due to short circuiting. This basin was cleaned out 2 years ago, and as of today, it's about 3.5 to 4 foot of solids. I would like to try to do this every 2 years to keep from excessive amounts of solids and keep the price down for the vac trailer or for the vac purposes. I went out and got 3 quotes. We received 3 of them. I think I have them attached. The estimated cost that I was gonna go with was A1 Pump and Jet Services with their grand total of $17,031.25. They'd be ready for the job 2 weeks after granting the job. It'd take 2 days and that's,
So for this year, we did budget for the effluent basin clean out. We know this is something that we need to keep on top of, as the last time that we did this, we had done it for about 10 years. And what that causes is a lot of settling, and a lot of really compact material down in this basin. I would like to point out that, some of the projects that we're doing with the sewer plant right now, so the lagoons that we're building are really designed to prevent that short circuiting in the future. And so while there's always going to be solids in this water, in this effluent water, the amount that we see in the future could be very far less than what we experience now. We had, like I said, we had budgeted 20,000 for this year to do this. We were going to budget that every 2 years. But I think even going forward into the future, we may be able to get that number down significantly. Seeing the outcome of these projects, maybe even utilizing some of our own equipment to do this work in the future, maybe eliminate this altogether. So.
Country Club does pay, they pay their yearly fees they pay it so much and it covers electricity and chlorine and everything. So, I think some of that.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend using A1 Pump and Jet Service out of Emporia for a total cost of $17,031.25. They have a competitive price and would be available within 2 weeks after granting the job. The job will take 2 days at the most. Price is not to exceed the quote, but will be adjusted if it takes less time than quoted.
And I mean, in Emporia, there's a lot of places around, but most of them are septic and porta potties, and their trucks aren't as big as the ones that these people have, so that, I don't think they wanted to tackle a lot of jobs like that, so that is why we had to reach out to Kansas City, Emporia, Topeka, and stuff like
I'm glad you got so many quotes,
that. Yeah,
bids as well.
yeah. Hey, if you look at one quote, it's astronomically higher than.
Have we used them before?
Not A1 pump and jetting as I've been here, no. But I know Highland has for lagoons and stuff like that, so.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to recommend or to use A1 pump and jet service out of Emporia for $17,031.31. Any further discussion? Not done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Okay, communications,
We just had the fire rules and the 2025 plan.
any questions from the fish farm? You have to ask for comments, public comment. Dang it. Public, did you have any comment on the effluent basin cleanout? Okay, well, you're my only public, so. All right, we're gonna move on to, executive session, so make a motion that the city commission recess into executive session in the conference room for a period of 5 minutes to discuss matters regarding the issue of potential city personnel. Justification for closing the meeting is to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel. The open meeting will resume at 6:10 PM in the commission chambers and to include commission, city administrator, and city attorney.
Second.
Moving second, any further discussion? Not time.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 4-0. T-shirt.
Yeah.
We throw up there, go bird.
We've all decided that we're not going to accept your resignation.
Okay, it's 6:12. City Commission is back in open meeting. Commission took no binding action during executive session. There a second? Yeah, that's a motion, I'm sorry. Would you like to make a motion? I'm not gonna ask for.
Who seconded, David?
Don, sorry, nice.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed 4-0. Governing body comments, congratulations to the Hiawatha boys for being league champions. And then good luck to both the boys and girls when they go to regionals. And then we also had, I think, Gabe Johnson, wrestler, who qualified for state. So that's exciting. And then, oh, holy cow, we had a girl, didn't we? Qualify for state as well? Maybe. Or did we not?
I didn't see anything about the.
Okay, but anyway, so just exciting time for Hiawatha athletics, so I wanted to make sure and comment on that. So, Dave?
The last meeting, I mentioned that the Department of Commerce has grant programs come up fairly often, and there's two more that I've been made aware of. One's called the Kickstart Grant. The other is called the Impact Grant. And I'm not gonna go into what those would cover, but I encourage everybody to go to the Kansas Commerce Commission website and read about it to see if you think there's any opportunities for us to try to get either one of those. They're not real big grants, but what turned out free money. And the other thing, I attended the 30% design review meeting with Olson a couple weeks ago out at the sewer plant, and just want to give a quick rundown of how that's going. Whenever you have a retrofit project or a project that involves working with existing facilities, the challenge is to figure out what you're starting with, because a lot of times you don't have drawings or all the information you need to add the new design. So I was impressed with Olson and the interaction with Brad and Bruce and Dominic on information exchange. There's a lot of tie-ins that you make, and you got to fit the equipment in where there's already something there. And a lot of times you don't have the information you need without asking a lot of questions and going out and looking at stuff and taking measurements. And I think that process is going pretty well. And I know Bruce has done a lot of digging on information that they've asked about, and they've sent guys out here to do their own walk downs and whatnot. So I did that kind of stuff for many years in my career, except the projects were a lot bigger in the power plants I worked in. It's a lot of work, a lot of digging to figure out what you're starting with, but I think it's going pretty well. Their drawings are in pretty good shape already, even though it was only a 30% design review. There's still loose ends they're working on. As they develop their design, they're also preparing the construction spec that will need to go out for bids, which I think is on track for early summer. Is that what you see it, Brad?
That's what.
June, July timeframe. So that's going well. They also have a cost estimate that they continue to update as they do their design, so we can get an idea what the thing might cost and how our financing is going to work out. They're preparing a very nice design report to capture what the design is based on, particularly the flows of the process water and sewage that's coming into the new lagoon that we're going to be building, and how all that works. And that's related to the pump sizing, which they're capturing in this report. So down the road, if we need to make more modifications or whatnot, hopefully we can go to this design report, figure out why they did what they did when they added the lagoons, because those are a lot of the questions they're asking about the existing plant. And I don't think we have a design manual for what's out there now, do we?
We do not.
So that's a valuable, I worked on those a lot myself in my days in my work. It captures the design basis for everything you're doing and why you're doing it. And And then that's a permanent record of not just the drawings, but what the drawings are based on. That includes the pump sizing, the flows, the various flows through the different pipes, the instrumentation. I know when they came out last time, they were asking them, they were looking at I think there's 2 emergency generators out there. And they're trying to decide whether those have enough capacity, what's there now, plus what they're adding. And hopefully the next time we have the 60% review, that we'll know whether we need a new generator out there or not. And the questions they were asking, nobody knows how those generators were sized for what's out there now, at least that was my understanding. And so we're thinking, well, if the power goes out, how are we gonna run all that stuff? So it was a great meeting, I thought, and I think they're on track with everything they're doing from what I saw. So hopefully, I don't know what the date is, but we'll have a 60% design review. And is there a 90% or
I believe so. I believe there's kind of a design review before we go out to.
before we go out for bids?
Yes.
Decide anything, with any other loose ends, so I was happy with what I saw from my experience on doing this kind of work. And I think they're on track to keep us going and stay on schedule and have a good project before we're done, so that's all I wanted to report, so.
I appreciate you attending the meeting.
Yeah, it was a good one.
That's good information.
Okay, Tom?
Any updates on the lights? Either one?
So we're talking about the first Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah, so first Oregon, like I said, we have been getting our easements back, and so we have 2 of them. I know that I've been in discussion with a 3rd owner up there and the 4th owner up there. And so we're just in the process of getting those easements back. The 3rd one should be back anytime now. 4th one, there is a agreement that we need to come to with the owner as far as the construction of that island goes, as far as the liability. And so it's a simple thing to cross, and then once we get that done, we can get all those back and we can report that. First in Iowa, so I did hear from KDOT today. And so they are going to be doing a lot of upgrades to the handicap ramps up there at at that site. And I kind of wanted to work in conjunction. We had talked about it last year, upgrading the pedestrian heads. One of the major reasons why the light is short up there is that the controller, we need a new controller at that site as well. Now, these are things that we looked at last year. These are things that KDOT's willing to work with us on this year. But so that was actually a positive update today on that one. Downtown, I'm going to guess that when our lights were going out downtown, when we were getting hit by lightning, that we had a problem with our controller there too. They do work, we can get them to work, but really that's going to be the permanent fix to the new controller downtown as well. And so those are all things not very expensive. We can take care of that ourselves. But that's kind of my update on, how these projects are going right now.
Thank you.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Yes, Mayor.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, your name's right down here.
Yeah. I was gonna try and make it, but we had a fire call, but I just got a request of the day for a control burn here to city limits for Bill McCauley, so. Ask for your permission to do a burn inside the city.
Where is it?
It's on North Fourth Street. Can't remember that.
Is it grass? Is it grass burn?
Yeah, you have CRP.
Oh, right. They do.
Wildflowers, we do it every year.
Oh, so yeah, you do it.
I make a motion to approve the fire department making a control burn at North Fourth.
Second.
Moving a second to approve the control burn on North Fourth. Any further discussion? Not, huh?
On favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 4-0.
they're gonna do apologize for not.
Yeah, based on the finger pointing of Donna.
It all planned out on my little sheet,
Um,
adjourned.
Very sorry. Hey, you know what, there's one thing I can do, I can screw up a good meeting, so.
Can I ask a question while you're here, please? On your report,
Oh, yes, sir. That was,
on the structure fires, was there how do I ask this? Is there a common cause for many of those fires? That,
so when you think of structure fire, you think of a full-blown house fire. The way it's reported to the federal government is that if it is attached to the home, it is considered a structure fire. So a porch, leaves in a backyard that caught a fence on fire, right? Anything that physically attaches to the home is considered a structure fire.
okay,
Power lines. Anything like that. That's why you see that amount.
well, my next question was gonna be if there was a common, like if people catch their decks on fire from a barbecue pit or something, that you think it'd do any good for us to make public announcement reminders that when springtime comes, don't put your charcoal grill on your deck and
You would be surprised, that's not necessarily the main cause of.
well, I'm just, you're right,
Right.
yeah. I was asking you if there was a,
No, the charcoal is not the cause of most of these fires. It's either somebody burning in their backyard, burning, logs, or they have a fire pit back there and it gets away from them. Or B, it's cigarettes.
you know,
Most of the time it's cigarettes.
well, I didn't know if it would help, if
Yeah.
it'd do any good to put periodic announcements on our website or Textcast or any of that stuff that just remind public to be careful and whatever.
Right, no, I don't know, we've had maybe since I've been back, it's been a barbecue grill once or twice, and that was a propane, so. I've been the charcoal. The one thing that is alarming is that we did run an additional 17 calls this year. And the amount of vehicle accidents and the false alarms are canceled en route. Those two right there, that's 40 calls that we ran additionally, so. The false alarms, those are the annoying ones. You get to the station and, somebody triggered their fire alarm at their business or something and on accident. But that's just part of it.
Actually, it's the best result. but
It is the
can't-
best result.
Yes, it is.
Some of those false alarms come out and you're like, oh, good Lord, I hope that's not on fire.
Exactly.
My plan goes off in as many.
So I do apologize. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I forgive you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I was figuring.
No, it has been moved and seconded,
To adjourn?
hasn't it?
Yeah. Good. I thought you stopped you.
I did.
You did a first and second on the control burn, but I didn't have a first and second.
Okay, let's try again. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Now it's been moved and seconded.
Okay, all in favor? Whoop. I jumped again.
No, all in favor is what she said, so aye.
Hi.
Good.
All opposed, yeah.
Motion passed 4-0, we're done.
Breakfast,
And then.